Now, you might think that English is one of the easier languages on earth. After all, tons of people speak it. But I have found 5 languages that are even easier than English. So if you have ever felt kind of humbled because wherever you go in the world, people can just effortlessly speak to you in English, well, now it's time for you to get your own back and learn a language that happens to be even easier than English. So in this video, I'm going to show you what these 5 languages are, tell you what makes each one easier, roughly how long it will take you to learn, and which one comes out as the easiest of them all, starting with the most difficult of the 5, and this language fixes the language learning problem that drives everyone up the wall.
Indict.
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 Indict. Indict.
Indict.
Yeah, English has quite a few words like this, unfortunately. Even native speakers get them wrong all the time because that bizarre spelling throws you right off, especially if you aren't sure what it means. And that's because English spelling is a bit of a train wreck. It's full of silent letters that do absolutely nothing.
Letters that you write down, but never say. That letter is only for the paper.
Right? Why does knife have a K? Why does debt have a B? Why does sign have a G? And my personal favourite, an S in island. An S just sitting there doing absolutely nothing, which is extra annoying because Ireland never even had an S at first. Someone added it by mistake. Long story. Well, Swahili looked at all of that nonsense and said, no thanks.
Ninashangaa wanasiasa, politicians, wao wanachukulia kwamba ni jambo la kawaida, wameweka institute lakini naona kama haifanyi kazi.
With Swahili, what you see is exactly what you say. You write a word, you say every letter, and that is it. No silent anything, which means when you learn a new word, you don't have that English panic of, do I pronounce this bit or not? If the letter is there, you say it. And bonus, they don't even have an X or a Q. Now, if you're not sure what Swahili even is, it's a very important language because it's the most widely spoken language in Africa and it's the one most learners around the world go for. If you ever pictured giving something back in East Africa, NGO work, a season volunteering, those NGOs treat Swahili speakers like absolute gold because there are hundreds of languages out there, but Swahili's the neutral one, the lingua franca, if you like. Not to mention the awesome bucket list safari trips, Serengeti, Kilimanjaro, a beach in Zanzibar. With a bit of Swahili, you get the version that most tourists never see.
If I wanted to know where a washroom was, how would I ask that?
Cho kiko wapi.
Cho kiko wapi?
Now I know what you're thinking, African language, isn't that all clicks and funny tones? Not this one, no clicks, no tones, none of it. It's very melodic, it's very simple to pronounce and spell.
Watu wote ulimwenguni tunatafuta mafanikio. Well and good. Vijana wa miaka 20, 30, wengi ukiangalia wako race na maisha kwa sababu wanatafuta mafanikio. Na primarily mafanikio.
So if it's this easy, why have I put it in tier 2 on my language difficulty guide? It will take about a year to get properly chatting in Swahili. Well, a couple of things make it a touch harder. For example, there's this curious thing where words in Swahili change their front sound to match the noun. So say you're moaning about your dirty shoes. Well, watch what happens here. Shoes are viatu. And that V just keeps coming back. See, it's basically a pattern. But you only need to learn 3 of these patterns to start having real conversations. And there may or may not be a Swahili version of my short story books coming in the medium term. May or may not. Not giving anything away. Now, before you fall for Swahili completely, one warning, not every language is this generous to you. Some give you a real conversation in 6 months, others can take 5 years or more, and until you compare them, it's almost impossible to know which is which. And that's why I've created my free language difficulty guide. It ranks dozens of languages into 9 difficulty tiers. It shows roughly how long each one takes to learn and even reveal which languages give you a head start on others. So instead of choosing blind, you can pick a language that actually fits your goals and your life. If you want this for free, you can scan the QR code up there on the screen, or you can grab the link below in the description. Now, speaking of difficulty, one of the maddest things we have in English is our plurals, because there are so many different ways to do it. 1 foot, 2 feet, mouse, mice, house, houses, wolf, wolves, child, children, cactus, cacti, and then they go 1 sheep, 2 sheep. I mean, what's going on here? There's no rules at all, it seems, and that's because English is a mashup of Old English, Latin, French, and even Greek. So we ended up with loads of contradictions and bizarre exceptions that even native speakers have to memorize. You know what language doesn't do any of that? Indonesian.
Tapi mungkin nggak semua, tapi itu kebanyakan yang biasanya terjadi. Kalau di Amerika harus tepat waktu. Kalau nggak tepat waktu itu memang nggak sopan dan seringkali datang lebih awal daripada waktu yang
It is one of the friendliest languages on the planet, and its answer to the plural problem is so simple. It's almost a cheek. You want to make something plural? Just say it twice.
Buku. Buku buku. Orang. Orang orang.
Seriously, that's the rule. Imagine if English did this. Look at those cute cat over there. Hey, can I get beer? And you'll never have to guess what the plural of appendix is. Again, it's ridiculous, but also fun, which obviously means you will never forget it. And I heard that if you're texting in Indonesian, you don't even have to double the words. You can just put a tu after the word and you've got yourself a plural. I mean, I love that. But this is an Asian language. Surely there's a whole new alphabet to learn. No, same alphabet as English. So if Indonesian is so basic, you might be wondering, why is it in tier 2? Well, like Swahili, it's about a year to get chatting comfortably, like that lovely American girl from earlier. And it's the words, really. Indonesian doesn't have many similar words to English, but compared with all these other languages, you've still got yourself a super easy one. And the reward is quite something too.
If you want to haggle like a pro, this one you're going to need to learn. How much is this?
And you say, ini harganya berapa?
There you go. Ini harganya berapa?
Bali, sure, you can get by on English, but Bali is just the gateway. There are 17,000 islands around Bali, and on the remote ones where you get the wildest adventures and homestays, there's often no English at all. That's where the language stops being a nice to have and becomes your entire way in. Now, next up, here is a language that's one of Europe's best kept secrets. Amazing to learn and fixes one of English's strangest little habits. See, English can't make its mind up about the simplest thing in the world, how to say that something is more. So sometimes you go fast, faster, big, bigger, wild, wilder. Easy enough until it isn't, because you can't say beautifuler or dangerouser. No, now you've got to say more beautiful, more dangerous. And then English loses the plot with words like good. You have to say better. Better, I mean, where did that come from? And if you're more bad, you are worse. Well, Romanian has no circus tricks like that. It picked just one word, mai. You want more of something, you put a mai in front. That's it. More beautiful, more rich, more happy, they all just get a mai. And English's little nightmare, if something is better, as in good, better, best, you just say, yeah, you got it, more good, which means you never stop to wonder about how to make something more. You already know the answer, it's always mai.
De ce să înveți limba română în 2026?
Now, in my language guide, Romanian sits right up in the easy tier, about 6 months to hold a real conversation. No joke. And this one surprises many people because Romania is surrounded by Slavic countries like Russia, so you think, whoa, hard language. But Romanian itself is not Slavic. It is a Romance language, much closer to Italian than Russian.
Good morning, bună ziua. Good evening, bună seara. La revedere.
Told you, though it did pick up a pinch of Slavic along the way, which is exactly what makes it sound like nowhere else on earth.
Veselie. Stare de bună dispoziție, de voioșie. Nu ești chiar un butoi de veselie, copile.
So what's actually in it for you? Well, think of all the fun that you will have. Romania is the most underrated corner of Europe. Fairy tale castles, Transylvania, proper wild mountains. It's beautiful, it's cheap, and hardly anyone bothers to learn the language, so you would rock up already just a little bit special, like a mini celebrity in the country. And here's the really clever part. Of all the easy Romance languages, Romanian's the toughest. Now here is something that English is genuinely terrible at, telling you how to pronounce a word that you've never seen before.
Carrie tried to ambush the extortion scheme.
I can't say that.
And it all comes down to the vowels. Vowels in English are chaos. Take the letter A. One letter, so it should make one sound, right? Ah, wrong. Check this out. Cat, car, care, saw, gate. Same letter, so many different sounds, and nothing warns you which one's coming. You just have to know it. No wonder English is an absolute nightmare for so many learners around the world. The moment you hit a word that you don't know, you are guessing. I mean, take I mean, how do you even say this? Do you know which language doesn't play this silly game? It is the Italian language.
Allora, appersipiato, che hanno uscito il termine appersipiato. Appersipiato significa quando uno è fermo.
In Italian, every vowel makes one sound and only one, and it doesn't change its mind. A is always A, E is always E, and so on right the way through.
Aiuole.
Aiuole.
Yep, and here's why that matters to you. Learn those 5 little vowel sounds, which takes a few minutes, and you can read any Italian word out loud correctly the first time you ever lay eyes on it, even as a complete beginner. And that's a major win right there, because you're not wasting half your brain power wondering how a vowel is pronounced. You can spend it understanding what it actually means. Let's try a bunch right now. Geloso, furfante, sprezzatura. Well, these aren't hard enough. Let's try something a bit harder. Inaspettatamente, precedentemente. 6 syllables. Can we get some longer ones here?
Riesci a dire questa parola? Precipitevolissimevolmente.
Yeah, try reading a word like that in English and you'll come a cropper in seconds. But you can totally read Italian as long as you go slow. 1 vowel, 1 sound. And in my Italian story learning course, I even give you long words like this right from the start because they are so easy to read, to empower you, of course. I'm sure I don't need to tell you this because I bet you picked up on it already, but in our language difficulty guide, Italian sits right at the easy end, about 6 months to hold a proper conversation, doing a little bit each day, and I'm living proof of this because a few years ago I learned Italian. I filmed the whole thing on YouTube. I'll put the playlist down below so you can watch that yourself. I flew out to Venice and I was chatting away with people in Italian after 3 months, even whilst I was being filmed, which I'm very proud of. So why learn Italian? Well, that's easy. For the good life, plain and simple. The films, the music, the arts, the sheer romance of the whole thing. You don't learn Italian for your CV, you learn it to enjoy your life. Right, 4 languages in the box, but get ready because there's still 1 language here with even more wins over English, and it's the easiest one of the lot. Have you ever noticed this thing in English? It's really odd. You say, I run, you run, we run, they run, and then he shows up and suddenly it's he runs. Now, where did that extra S come from? What did he do to deserve it? Honestly, nobody really knows. We just learned it as kids and we never asked. Imagine what an absolute pain it must be if you are Korean or something trying your best to learn English. Well, Swedish took 1 look at this S and just had done with it. See for yourself, same word every time. You, me, the king of Sweden, doesn't matter. Nothing to memorize, no exceptions, which means every sentence is 1 less little decision that your brain has to make.
På min fritid gillar jag att spela musik. Jag spelar fiol, vilket jag har gjort sedan jag var 5 år gammal. Jag spelar piano, vilket jag aldrig har tagit lektioner i, men lär mig själv.
And it's not just the easy verbs. Take the big one, to be. In English, it's a total mess. I am, you are, he is. What's with all the different words? They all mean the same thing. Meanwhile, Swedish uses just, yeah, you guessed it, 1 single word for everyone, which makes it lovely if you're a bit nervous about the whole thing.
Det är, men säg inte det är. Ingen svensk säger det är, okej? Okej, några exempel, så säg efter mig.
That was Swedish? That sounds like English. Now, on my difficulty guide, Swedish is in the easy tier, like Italian, about 6 months to actually hold a conversation. 6 months for a Scandinavian language, I'll take that. I spent longer learning to parallel park when I was 17 and doing my driving test. It's not a massive exaggeration. And there's way more going on with Swedish that makes it easy. Do you realize how many words look just like English ones? It's brilliant.
Så vi håller i event, vi håller i läsningar. Vi arbetar som en plattform för poeter runt om i Skottland.
So that's the easy part, but what's actually in it for you? Well, for one, in Sweden, they've got this lovely daily ritual that they call fika, and everyone has to do it. It means you just stop, grab a coffee, a cinnamon bun, and take 15 minutes to breathe.
Fika, det är en helig svensk ritual. Det är inte bara kaffe utan vänskap, prat, bullar, mental hälsa.
And if you land yourself a job in Sweden, you too get to fika twice a day. But if you think you'll get a job there without speaking Swedish, yeah, I hope you're a world-class rocket scientist because you're up against those bilingual Swedes, remember? Besides, there is a very cool bonus. If you learn Swedish, you will understand Norwegian and Danish too. 3 countries, 1 language, come on. So there it is, Swedish, the easiest of all 5. So which one is calling you? Whichever you pick, the first few weeks of your learning matter more than you realize, because if you start the right way, even a hard language feels manageable. If you start the wrong way, well, even an easy one feels impossible. So before you dive in, watch this video next. I'm going to show you exactly how I would learn any of these languages from scratch, even with a packed day and very little spare time. See you over there.